Hi guys, today I'd like to explain a little bit what citizen's arrest is and the circumstances in which you may want to conduct a citizen's arrest, and also when it's advisable not to. First, please, I'd appreciate a subscribe, and if you could click on that top secret icon in the lower right hand corner of your screen, you are already there. Also, if you appreciate this video, share it with others. Citizen's arrest comes from medieval times when law enforcement officers were few and far between, and the transportation to get to a crime scene took a while. So now that we have police, what is the purpose of a citizen's arrest? Well, police can't be everywhere and can't always respond as quickly as is necessary to either prevent a crime from happening or to stop a crime that's already in progress. So common law recognizes the citizen's right to make an arrest. Many states also recognize this in their statutes. The problem is that many states vary from state to state in their application of this concept of citizen's arrest. Some states allow for arrests of misdemeanors and felonies. Others only allow for felonies. Others may allow for certain circumstances to take place. Some allow it for only felonies that you witness. The state in which I live, for example, allows for a citizen's arrest to be conducted for felonies committed in the presence of the person conducting the arrest, but also if you know that that person committed, but you didn't witness it, committed the crime and it was indeed a felony, that you could also effect a citizen's arrest. If you are interested in knowing what your state requires to trigger a citizen's arrest, you should do your homework and look up things specific to your state. There will be available resources online that state your law. Pretty much all you have to do is do a search of your state and the word citizen's arrest. Most, if not all, states recognize the citizen's right to make an arrest in the case of a felony. So make sure that what you are seeing and witnessing is indeed a felony and not a misdemeanor. And there are different levels of crimes. Misdemeanors are crimes, but they are not felonies. So know the difference and know what is what. For example, you could have a shoplifter and you could watch someone shoplifting, but is that a felony? More than likely it is not. So you would want to know that what you're seeing is indeed a felony before you go ahead and try to effect a citizen's arrest. It's best to call the police if you're a witness to a crime, unless there's a life on the line. So for sure you could and probably should make a citizen's arrest, or at least attempt to stop the assault or the taking of a life if you have the opportunity to do so. So you should make a citizen's arrest if you see or are the intended victim of a violent crime or home invasion. However, you also need to confront the reality that the criminal may be armed and that you could run the risk of getting injured or killed by an armed criminal. That's why that if you are just a witness to a crime and not the victim, you should be a good witness and observe as much detail as possible and convey that to the police or to the dispatcher who are sending the police. Now, incidentally, if you don't know how to handle an armed criminal, you should also get combatives and hand-to-hand training and get and learn how to use a gun or knife and other weapons. You should always know how to defend yourself and protect yourself, even against armed aggressors, even if you are unarmed. Remember the Boy Scouts motto, be ready. So when is it good to make a citizen's arrest? Obviously, you're always running the risk. So the best way to do it is, of course, is to call the police or call the assistance of the police and not do it on your own. Now, you could also enlist the help of others, and you could also assist law enforcement in making an arrest. And that, of course, falls under the umbrella of law enforcement making an arrest. It's also called citizen's arrest because you are helping, but in essence, what you're doing is helping a law enforcement officer who is the authority to make the arrest. So these are just some things that you might want to consider about citizen's arrest. All too often, there are too many people that have this concept of citizen's arrest in which they are proud of themselves and think that they're so righteous and that they're going to make a citizen's arrest. And you can see videos on YouTube where these people are making arrests of police officers for speeding, of all the stupid things, which speeding is never a crime, it's a civil infraction, so there wouldn't be an arrest made regardless. And the audacity of someone to try to make a citizen's arrest on a police officer in that instance is the stupidest thing I've ever seen or heard of. So, and that comes from pride and ego, plain and simple. It is the citizen's duty to not only not break the law, but also to uphold the law if possible, if given a situation in which that is possible. So citizen's arrest is a valid thing, and it's an important thing to know and be ready for if you're given the opportunity to do so. However, it's always best to allow those in authority to affect the actual arrest, simply because of the risk of injury and death to you for making an arrest, and also the liability involved, especially considering that if you do not know if something is actually a crime but you think so, and you're making a citizen's arrest, you could be liable not only for civil charges of false arrest, but also criminal charges for kidnapping. So that being said, make sure you understand and know the law in your jurisdiction. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Please like, please subscribe, and don't forget to tell your friends.